thank you so much, Rick, for just supporting me. I know we had a lot of meetings. We've known each other for a long time, so thank you again for just even considering me for the position and just being there all the time. I know we talk all the time about you guys. We still talk about coaching you and how we could do better, even the next year. And thank you so much for Bill for being there. Let's clap it up for Bill. Yeah. You guys like to think I'm positive. Bill is great. Bill has always been one of the most positive people in a room all the time. Even sometimes where I'm trying to get through and figure out how I can give something positive to the girls, he's already in there giving them everything they need to hear. So again, thank you, Bill, for everything. So all right, our season. So I remember the first day we started with the girls. My whole thing we talked about, Rick, was about culture. So we came here and when you're building a program, when you're trying to get the right things, always starts with culture. The first thing I talked to the girls, we brought them in. I met them a few days before the first practice. The first practice, we had a huddle, and we talked about the things that we wanted for the season. Can anyone name me a couple of those things?
I don't remember. Wait, what?
What were the first things that we talked about? Encouragement, one of the first things. Right? What else? What else would I want? I expected for every single one of you guys.
Improvement. All I can remember is spacing. That's it.
Call them up. Come on, girls. Come up here. Come up. Everybody come up.
What's the name of it? It's like the group Mojo. Yeah.
The Juju. Good Juju.
No. Oh, synergy.
So yeah, the first day we kind of set the tone, and when you want a good team, before you can even be a good player, before we can even talk about basketball, it's about culture. Can you be a good teammate? Can you give encouragement to others? Can you, when you walk in the gym, when you walk into a classroom, when you walk into a job interview, are you bringing value? And are you doing it positively? That was our first message, right? Because and Rick knows, like we coach outside of here, and a lot of you guys, when you have interviews, and so, there's a lot of people that are qualified for the position. There's not a lot of people that are bringing value in other ways outside of just that position, right? And that was kind of our message this year, that you guys instilled with each other. And I thought a lot of you in the season, I was nervous. A lot of people I heard that didn't like each other. By the end of the year, like, you guys encouraged the crap out of each other. Sorry for language. You guys encouraged each other. You supported each other, even ups and downs, wins and losses. You guys, after every game, I'm going to make them do this today again too, so you guys can see. We would go around and tell someone they saw someone do good throughout the game or throughout the day, and I'm going to have each one of you guys do that for each other at the end for the whole season. Let's do that now. Let's do that now. So let's have Ray come up here first.
Yeah, Ray.
Ray, tell us something you saw someone do good this year or improved on.
All right, Emma Hansen.
That's my girl.
You know you're my girl, and like you always get very down on yourself in practice, and even when you can't practice, you're like on the side, you're like, I need to practice now. Like you are so hype about basketball, and I've seen you improve so much in the beginning of basketball. Like it was a bit rough, but like, and in the end, you're out there getting steals and like shooting hoops. So I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Renee. I love you.
I'm going to say Michelle, just because she was one of our captains this year, but she was so much more than just, kind of telling us what to do in a very positive way. But she definitely, besides her shooting and all of her steals, she was just super encouraging to all of us. And I know that if any of us had any questions or were having a bad day, we would always go to you. And you were always super helpful. And we're going to miss you a lot next year.
I have to say Ariana, because even though she's new to the team, she felt like she wasn't new because we got to the first day of practice and everybody just gelled so quickly on the court. And she was just a really great leader and ball handler and shooter for us. She was really key in situations, and she brought really positive energy to the team. So definitely Ariana.
I'm going to go with Liz, because she was even though she wasn't a captain, she still was a leader on the court. And she was just
I don't know how to explain her. She's like a combination of a cooked spaghetti noodle and a baby deer that can't walk. But somehow she manages to like get a ball that's 20 feet away from her. I don't know, but she's amazing.
I'm gonna have to go out and say Madeline because as she was one of our captains, she was just a major like support system for the entire team. And like whenever like I was like having like panic attacks or like dying, you know, she was always there for me, like no matter what. And thank you.
I'm gonna have to say Maddie Williams Larson, even though she's not here. I forced her to join this year. I forced her to join, even though we started off with what, 6 people? Five people. So I forced her to join, and that made 6. And then she kept saying, "I can't play basketball. I can't do this. I can't shoot. I can't dribble." And all of a sudden, the first game I think she played, or the second, all of a sudden, the ball just goes, and then she just somehow gets in front of the girl, and she's all the way at the other end of the court. You were surprised. You had no idea she could run that fast.
I already thought she was going to get, the other girl was getting a layup. I already was like, oh, there's a layup.
I didn't know she could run that fast, and I've known her forever. So.
Yeah, Charlene, I love you!
I'd have to say Katie because she's very loud and aggressive and very encouraging and positive when we're playing, and you can always hear her above everyone else. Yeah. Advice and just being very positive.
Yeah!
All right, I'm gonna have to go with Charlene Angeline Levine. I remember the first time I had seen you play on the court in a game, you were very nervous. And when the first time you had the ball in your hands in a real game and the clock was ticking, you went, oh no, and you passed the ball to somebody else, even though you had an open shot. But then by the end of the season, you were just throwing them out there. You had no idea what you were doing in the beginning, but by the end, you had a lot more confidence in yourself, and you had improved so much over the course of the season.
I'm gonna have to say Maddie Noble Stas because this girl is just so like not confident, but she goes out there and she scored 25 points this season. So
We were counting.
yeah, we were counting because how much did you score last season?
11.
She doubled it plus more. So also I wouldn't have joined basketball without her because she absolutely begged me, and I have to thank her for that. So.
Well, I'm gonna go with 2 people because like I'm extra like that. So I'm gonna go with Claire because she was just like, I don't know, you were always there. Just like, I don't know how to explain it, but like wherever I needed you to be, I felt like you read my mind, you kind of just went there and you were there. And I just love that about you. Like you were always moving. There was never a time I saw you just kind of like standing there confused. And even if you were confused, you were moving around like just really out there. And even like boxing girls out, making some girls fall, which I kind of like slightly laughed at during games, but I try not to. And I had to go with Maddie Noble Stas because she was my number 2 because I just love you, man. You're my thing 2, and I was thing 1. Like there was not like when it was me and you on the court, it was perfect. Like, you know, I had you out there diving for balls with me and like helping me not crash my head into bleachers. So I appreciate you for that.
All right. I have to say Liz. Oh, don't do that face, Liz. Because she always gets so down on herself, even though she's doing amazing and she just doesn't realize it. And it was amazing watching you get so many steals and always being on the ball, no matter what. And it was fun seeing you, how many times you hit the floor per game. That was always fun to watch.
Great job again, ladies. So this year we do that exercise for a lot of different reasons. One, because they're tired of me giving them compliments half the time, and half the time they don't believe me. So a lot of the time it's really good to see their perspective. Like a lot of them, and a lot of people, you know, you get locked into your own thinking. You're going in your game and you start thinking about, oh, I didn't do this right, I didn't do this, and you don't see your value. So when you have teammates around you that are in the game with you and they see the value, it matters that they tell them. So that was something that we really instilled. We made sure we did it every day. And I really thought that helped build a lot of their confidence and just as a team overall. So, yeah, sorry, I'm thinking about the team.
Are you gonna cry?
No, it's such a great group of girls. I actually saw someone the other night, they played against us, and they gave you guys so many compliments about just how much you guys encourage each other on the bench. And, sometimes I'm locked into the game, so I don't get to see, but that was the most important thing they saw, how you encourage each other and how you guys played with so much energy. And the difference is that I saw that no matter what in a game, no matter if there was the best defender, the best rebounder, the best shooter, or even if you're on the bench, you brought value. And that was our whole thing about bringing value. So I'm really excited for you guys next year. We want to keep this up and keep the culture going. The best way for us to improve and to win games and to get the things we need is to start with our culture. And that's why you guys see what do I do right now, as some of you guys see when I'm working out with you guys, what do I go do with the little kids? Go talk to them. And Liz, what do I expect from you guys? What do I expect you to do with the little kids? Say hi, encourage them, right? Introduce yourself. Like, you guys are the community, and all of you guys that are younger now, you guys had 2 great leaders this year. So now that's what I'm looking for the next people to step up and get the culture from the bottom up. So if you see the little kids, giving them a high five, that stuff matters to them. Bill, you got anything to say before we go to awards?
With the girls, we're going to miss our 2 seniors. Thank you very much for everything you guys did as captains, and on the court as well as off the court, and also in the school building. Michelle, we had you since 6th grade, I do believe. All right, and you stuck with it all the way through Maryland. Same thing. All right. With all the girls here, I know we had our differences. It's hard to win when we're not really together. But somehow along the line, you girls got together. Kindness. All right. You become kindness to each other. Kindness like the snow. It beautifies everything it covers. So when you're kind to each other, you're covering a lot of good things. All right. As you move on, as you're growing, all right, attitude does matter. All right. What you always want to do, and this falls with boys too. It's not a matter of standing out. It's a matter of being respected. All right. Seek respect and that attention, and it'll last long. So I'm very proud of you girls, and thank you for all the effort you gave this year. Okay.
Our first award is our Rising Star Award. This is to Ariana. Ariana was such a special year, and again, all the encouragement you guys did, I think that really helped her. You started off amazing. Like, she had some 3-4 of the best games. I was calling coaches like, I've never seen a girl hit this many bank threes. Like, I don't tell her, like, go for the backboard, shoot for the backboard. I think you averaged like almost 18 to 20 a game for the first 6 games. And then, life happens, things get tough, and the fact that you were able to stay with it and grind through it, and we even talked the other night that we're really proud of your development, and you really started working with a team, not just trying to be the dominant person, but able to move the ball and then do so much more. So we're really happy with you. So great job. That's another thing I didn't touch on before we go to the next player is, again, I really am happy of all of you guys about, we're such a team. It's not, I don't even think about it as I'm the girls varsity coach, and I kind of just think it's like we're coaching it together, and Rick's coaching it together, and Coach Martin's coaching it together, and even Coach K, right? We're all like, I'm asking questions, and at halftime I'll go to Rick and be like, hey, what do you see? What do you think? What do you think? And I'm asking questions. I'm like, hey, if you see something, coach them too, right? So again, I just want to thank you guys for the support and just a team effort every way around. Next award is the Most Improved Player. This was tough because you guys, everybody really did a great job of improving. But I'm going to have to give this to M&S. M&S was a player that that, you know, she would tell me not to put her in games at the beginning of the year. And by the end, it was like, you started, I think, 4 or 5 games for us this year, and there were times like, where you would, there was a couple of times I wasn't even pressing. She's like, I'm gonna go press. And she got the ball from 4 girls, it was 4 against 1. And she came with the ball with a steal and made a layup. And you did that a ton of times. And there was a lot of times I just put you on their best player and I'm like, just run, go get her. She would cause chaos and hit jump shots and layups, so I'm really proud of you. So good job. This award, this was again, we had such a great defense this year. You guys were just swarmed everyone, but this key centerpiece to our defense where I could put her in multiple positions. I think she's one player that probably played every position on defense is Elizabeth Sprina. Not only would she have to guard the best player some games, but then I would put her on a not good player and I would tell her to help and double and get steals, and then her role was always shifting. And no matter where I put her, you excelled. So great job, Liz. Before we go to our last award, we have also Michelle Payton that got honorable mention for all conference this year. So let's go. You won players, and the hard part was you missed a couple games in conference that was big, but all the coaches and I was in the meeting you were right there, right on the border with a lot of kids, and you had a great season. One of my favorite games, you would come out sometimes and just hit like 3 threes and a layup. Like you'd go for like 11-0 in the beginning of the game. I'm like, well, this would be a great game. But she's another player that would have to play multiple positions on defense. You had to do. I told you at the beginning of the year when I saw you play, you were not. I'm just a shooter. Like nope, ball handler. You gotta pass. You gotta run. You gotta be a leader. So I called on you for a lot. So great job again, Michelle. And then our last awards is to another special player is Madeline Sprina. So got an all-conference award, and she also is our MVP this year. So much to say. Again, not only the heart of our team, great leader. She set the tone every practice, and one of the most encouraging people I've been able to coach. So really, that's for me, being an encouraging and be able to bring value to a team, that matters more than anything. And she definitely did that for us. And then not only that, you were able to defend, rebound, hit layups, make passes, and I put you at point guard. Go get the ball, you know? And she would do that for us too. So that last game too, hit a 3. You hit a couple threes this year for us too. So again, clap it up for her. All right. Well, that's it. So now I'm gonna again.